I am back in Irvine at I just finished my first monitoring appointment for the second retrieval cycle. And I don't know. So usually what happens is I'll go in, I get my blood work done, and then have my ultrasound done, and then after that I wait for about an hour to 2 hours to have one of the nurses kind of update me on how the doctor wants to proceed. So I'm waiting right now. I've only been out here for a few minutes or so. I don't know, I feel a little strange because even though the last cycle was pretty good, it ended in getting an egg naturally. I don't know how this is gonna go. And this is like my whole stress is the unpredictability of like my body. And I already, it's my body, so I know kind of how it works. It likes to just totally do its own thing and not cooperate mostly. So I don't know what's gonna happen this round. I just know that my first appointment for my initial retrieval cycle, it was very clear, 3 follicles, 2 on one side, 1 on the other. The 2 were small at like a 6 point something, and then the 1 was at a 9 already at day 3. This is technically my day 4, cycle day 4, and they're not the same as before. And it's just weird because my mom sent me this thing this morning on like rituals and superstition and all of the things, and I didn't think that I was doing it, but it's very clear that I have my rituals and superstition. I call them routines, but I feel like if I don't do my routine, then something is going to change and it's going to be different, and so I need to work on that. But everything was different this time, starting with the room number that I had at my hotel, to the appointment time was different, to I walk in and the ultrasound technician that had been doing them before, it's a new person, and I feel like the results also depend greatly on the person who is doing the work. So I'm leaving it up to new eyes and new expertise. So that was weird. And we were having a conversation, whereas the girl before, we like never talked. And I just wonder if I distracted her by talking to her and if she could really focus and do what she needed to do. But I think she found 2 follicles, and I was trying to pay attention to how she was marking them, but they're small at 6.8, 6.7. And then on the other side, she found 1 and it seemed to be at a 7. So I don't know how I feel. I think I was hoping for the repeated version of 2 weeks ago, and I'm not getting that, which I knew that it was a possibility that it would be different, but I just not knowing is killing me. So I want to know what the doctor is going to say after he reviews everything. I am hoping that he doesn't say, oh, well, let's try a little bit of medication. I don't know why that makes me so nervous, especially after we did so well without it last cycle. But, change is so difficult for me. I just want everything to be somewhat succinct, somewhat the same. And I just can never, ever, 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 ever get that. So we'll see. But I'm just waiting right now to get the results, and then as soon as I have the results, I'll be back on the road back home. I'm hoping that, and praying mostly, that everything goes well on my way home, because I need to get back in time for class. I have school tonight, so it's going to be a long day. long night. And the week is going to go by pretty fast because also depending on what they say when they want me back, I might be back here in a couple days or 3 days. I don't know. But yep, we're just starting all over again. This is my first monitoring appointment of 3 or 4, and we'll see. But yeah. I guess this is a good time for an update. You know, when I'm in a car, I am in Cali, either coming or going. I just got here. It is November 22nd, Tuesday. And this will be the first trip that I'm making truly round trip. I left AZ at like 4 in the morning. Just got here 9. Cali's an hour behind, so got here straight to the doctor's office at 9 a.m. My appointment is at 10:30, and then after my appointment I'm gonna get right back on the road and go home. So far I've had an appointment on a Monday, Tuesday now, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So the only day that I have not had to be here is on a Thursday, which is fine with me because having to come on a Tuesday is difficult. I have school Mondays and Wednesdays, and actually that would work, but it's already Tuesday, so they're not going to have me come right back around tomorrow. But I have school Mondays and Wednesdays, and so typically what I do is I'll come up here the night before, get a hotel, stay the night, wake up and go to my appointment and then go home. But I had class last night and I just could not figure out how I was going to do everything in one go, especially since I worked. So working and then hitting the road would have been fine, but I would not have made it to my hotel before class started. So I'm like, I don't want to miss another class, especially since we have group projects due next week. So I was just like, I don't know when I'm gonna leave, but I just need to be here at least to regroup and go to class. So I got off of work, came home, took a nap, got up for class, finished that, and then went to bed to be up at like 3:45. And came, and all of that was fine. I did get a little sleepy on the way here because it was just darker longer than I needed it to be. I was hoping that it would just brighten up and the sun would come up within like a couple hours, and it didn't. But that's what happens when you're going from east to west. You're basically going away from the sun. So that was a little tricky, but as soon as the sun was up, I got my second wind and came right on in. Hit some miscellaneous toll road by accident, and Google didn't tell me that I was hitting a toll road, but it is what it is. We'll have to figure that out later. And then got here right on time. So I'll probably head up there at like, I don't know, maybe 9:45 to see if they can get me in any earlier than my appointment. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, I'll just gladly wait around because what else am I gonna do? After that, there's typically a 2 to 3 hour wait now. So I will go across the street and like maybe walk around Target and just see what's going on and wait for their call with the results. I am praying that we have something better to hear today, because Friday my appointment was tricky. I think I mentioned it before, but Friday was to let me know that the two follicles that I had on each ovary, one on the left side did not grow, the other disappeared, and another very, very small one was coming up. So still not the best quality of eggs or follicles, even though this is a new round, which is kind of sad because I was hopeful. I still am. I don't know. We'll see. He did adjust my medication, and I went from taking the estrace or estradiol twice a day to taking that once a day, and then adding in a once a day Nortrel pill. So I was to be on that for 5 days, but I did not make it home to the pharmacy in time, so I've only been on it for 4 days. In fact, I need to take those like right now. So yeah, I'm on. Good time to make a video. So, oh my gosh, a lot of Californians went to Arizona for Thanksgiving. How cute! Look at all that traffic. I dodged a bullet, thank you God. I left later than I wanted to this morning. I got up at 5. Well, let me just say this. Obviously, when I'm in the car, I'm in California or on the way to or whatever. I had an appointment today. It's Saturday, November 26th. I had an appointment today at 12:30, the latest appointment that I've had thus far. Today was a busy day surrounding the holiday. It was busy. So, this morning I got up 5 a.m. in Arizona. I've not stayed the night for the past 2 or 3 visits because nothing's happening, and I want to save some money as much as possible because nothing's happening. Got up at 5 in Arizona to make the trip here to just turn around and go back. But I didn't leave until after 6, I think. After 6 a.m. But on the way here, it like I gain an hour because California is an hour behind Arizona. So I gain an hour. So even though I left late, I arrived to my destination 2 hours early. So I mean, that was still good. I beat holiday traffic. I mean, there was still, you know, cars on the road, but it just really felt like typical traffic. Had I left later in the afternoon, which I don't know why I would do that, but had I left later in the afternoon or later in the morning, like some of these people did, I would be stuck in traffic all the way up here, which that's what I was worried about. Speed trap? I don't know where that could be. But anyways, yeah, everybody from the holiday, they're going back. So I'm on my way back to Arizona, and I'm seeing nothing but Arizona tags right now. So I probably won't hit traffic until I get to Buckeye, which is fine because by the time I get to Buckeye, I'm basically home. But I'll hit traffic there because Arizona people are going to be coming from LA and San Diego and from here. And they're going to be coming from all directions. It all bottlenoses in Buckeye. And there's mad construction. So it's going to take me forever to get past there. But other than that, I should have a pretty easy drive home. But what I mean by nothing's happening, this is cycle day 16. I think my 3rd or 4th appointment in this monitoring or in this egg retrieval cycle. And I don't know if I got lucky the first egg retrieval cycle or if things are really just becoming more difficult, or I don't know what's happening. I don't know what can be done on my end, but I keep having follicles on my right side appear, disappear. They're small, unhealthy, and then the left side always has one follicle that has not been growing. It hasn't gotten any bigger than 6.5 millimeters within the past 2 weeks. So that's been disappointing. My FSH and E2 and LH levels have been all over the board. I didn't even check what it was today. which was Tuesday, the nurse was basically like, the doctor is focusing on balancing your hormones right now because nothing's going to happen if they remain this high. So he's been adjusting the doses of the estradiol and the Nortrel. And I was going from taking the estradiol twice a day, every day, to taking it once a day and then adding...
There's a speed trap ahead.
Thank you, Google. And then adding the Nortrel once a day, every day. So today, the instructions in my portal were to take the estradiol and the Nortrel once every other day. So I don't know what that means. I didn't get a chance to look at my labs to see where my levels were. I don't know. I don't understand what's going on, especially since today there were no follicles on my right side that she could find, and there was the one on the left, and it was 6.5. So nothing's going on. I know that, and when I say they, like different parts of the office are, you know how it is. There's your front desk, there's your lab, there's your nurses, then there's the doctor. So there are different parts. So when I say they in this scenario, I'm talking about front desk. Nobody else is on my case about this. But they're basically on my case to get the sperm from Arizona to California, which I have been talking about for weeks now that I needed to do. And so rightfully so. They want everything to be in place for when the time comes. I get that. I have been dragging. And then also there are 3 different parties involved when it comes to shipping the donor sperm. So the major party has already been taken care of. I tried to call the second party, which is the releasing clinic, my previous clinic that has my specimen in the lab. I tried to reach out to them a couple times. They didn't answer, rightfully so. It was right around the holiday. And then so my current clinic, they keep asking me when I'm going to make the next move, and I'm not ready for it yet. So in either case, I've been slow dragging. And so front desk was like, well, this is how you're going to have to do it. You have to fill out this other form, which I already had. I want to do it the way that I want to do it. You have to fill out this form and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, fine. She gave me another form. And then she comes back to where I was sitting in the waiting room and says, we need this by Monday because your egg retrieval is coming really soon. And I looked at her like, what? And she's like, yeah, your egg retrieval is really soon. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that upset me a little bit because I'm like, well, what is it that you know that I don't know? And that is nothing. So I know, obviously, because of my monitoring appointments, just because I'm on cycle day 16 doesn't mean that I'm close to an egg retrieval. And it's like, you don't need to say that to me. You don't know what my situation is. There isn't anything in the notes that says that my egg retrieval is soon. So don't say stuff like that when it's not true. So not only, it had me confused for a second because I'm like, oh, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe they know something that I don't. But it's like, no. Like, what would they have known from my Tuesday appointment where I basically had no mature growing follicles and high hormone levels to, like, what's about to happen right now? Like, nothing has changed. And so, you know, all the more reason when I get my results in my portal today, they don't want to see me back until December 1st, which is like, my appointments are getting farther and farther spread out, and I don't know, I'm frustrated and disappointed and all of the things. So it's just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if there is anything that I can do. I've been thinking a lot about this, and it hasn't been to my benefit because it's like, well, nothing is happening because my body is just doing what it's inevitably going to do. So I'm going to eat this cheeseburger. I'm going to eat Thanksgiving food. I'm going to do everything everything except for drink. You know, I don't smoke, but just relax and eat all the food and just, you know, not maybe be as harsh on myself for the sake of this egg retrieval, because there isn't anything that I can do to change what is happening. But it's kind of like a sucky mind space to be in, almost like giving up, and I need to readjust my thoughts. I'm stuck between being really frustrated and disappointed that nothing is happening this second cycle, and me also knowing and having this feeling and having the signs and having like a conversation with God initially that showed me that I was only going to have one something, whether that be one egg only, one embryo only. I just felt initially that I was only going to have a one something, and here we are, I only have a one something, and like nothing else is happening. So I was excited about that, happy, glad, thankful for that. And now I'm disappointed because I only have that, when maybe that was the plan the whole time. I don't know. So that's where I'm at. I'm on my way home. I will relax some more tonight. And what is it, Saturday? Sunday, I will maybe do a little bit of work. Because, baby, when I tell you bills are busting down this door, bills is busting. So I might do some work tomorrow. But I'm going to chill out last night tonight. Enjoy my Christmas lights that I put up. Maybe another couple movies, do some more crocheting, and just chill. And just reevaluate, recalibrate, and just think about what my next move is going to be. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Oh, huge. So along the lines of me being in the process of getting my one vial of donor sperm from Scottsdale to Irvine, I have one of my own eggs on ice, which I don't know what this egg is going to do. Nobody is going to know until everything thaws out and is like merged together. Nobody knows what's going to happen. In the case that I only get this one egg, I don't know how efficient it would be to have them thaw out my entire vial of donor sperm for one egg that may or may not survive, because then I will have wasted an entire specimen. So my thought process is today on this drive home is, okay, B, you need to make a decision. Like, you need to figure it out, because if nothing comes from you and you use all your donor and you go through with the rest of this, that's it. Like your round that is paid for, that's it. That's up. And then, you know, you may not have anything. So hear me out. I'm to a place emotionally, mentally, mostly emotionally, to where I can accept the ideas of donor egg a little bit deeper. So what if I get a couple donor eggs and have them shipped to Irvine, to the clinic, and by the time it's all said and done, when we're ready to thaw everything out and make babies, just have them fertilize everything that I have and see what happens. And don't have them tell me, right? Like, don't have them tell me what lived and what didn't and who was implanted. You know what I'm saying? That might not be a bad idea, because at that point I'm making the most of my time, my funds, my vial, my emotions, my sanity, my time, my body, have the best chance of having a viable embryo and it implanting and me getting pregnant. So why don't I help those chances? I mean, I got this far by even getting one egg of my own, which is amazing. That still blows my mind. I love that for me. And so with that being said, like, I think I'm okay to look into donor eggs and just like put everybody together and let's just see. I'd be okay with that. I think I would be okay with that. But if I'm gonna do that, I need to do that quick. Because at any given moment, he might say, all right, we've done all that we can do. You're clearly not gonna get any more eggs. Your ovaries are truly shutting down now. Like, they're just tired of working. Nothing else is gonna happen. We can either continue this week after week after week after week, or we can go ahead and thaw the one egg that you have, or like we can look at donor. What are you going to do? And I need to be able to have an answer of what I want to do. And when I come up with that answer, I need to have all my ducks together in a row. So that might be something that I Google tonight when I'm laying on the couch is, I think in Scottsdale we have the World Egg Organization. World Egg Bank. So I'm going to see what's there. I'm going to see what they have and how that whole thing works. I know that I had to look for a specific donor sperm to match my DNA or genetics, body, or whatever. I wonder if it's the same criteria for eggs. So that's something that I'll look into. But that just kind of like crept up into my mind literally on the drive back home. Yeah, so that's where we're at. I'll keep you updated.